Welcome, age of vintage society. In life, it's different things for different folks. For handsome and intelligent John Derrick, it's a matter of following a passion rather than a weakness, as some erroneously think. I have heard how everyone thought he was a failed star, but he had a different opinion beyond making the wrong career choice. He had a knack that would have made him a superstar, the reason Hollywood needed him, but other things took over. His miserable family life is a different ball game, perhaps a puzzle only he can solve. Was John Derrick a failed star? I want you to know, my viewers, how much I appreciate you. Without your support, these videos wouldn't be possible. Thank you for those who hit the thanks button and for the Patreons. Never a dull moment. The incredible stories that define career and marital life of John Derrick. Like John Derrick, I'm one of those who could not make it in acting because I did not enjoy the yelling that happens on set, so I confined myself to journaling. You get treated like a punk once the film starts rolling and you hear the heart-skipped word action, and 30 seconds into it you hear the second but demoralising word cut. And if that happens 2 or 3 times and you are unlucky with a bad-tempered director, you're called names that could make you jump out of your skin. Life is all about choices, and no one should blame a man for his decisions in life. John Derrick was a fine actor. He had the physique that most ladies would cherish. Even the Hollywood community acknowledged his prettiness, but lacked the morale to run in the industry. I think he hit the ground crawling and making excuses when he was supposed to be running. They say Derrick got himself a bad career decision. His love relationship choices were not better either, so he found himself enjoying just brief moments of bravery. John Derrick would not welcome the kind of sympathy those around him were offering. He preferred to do things his way. It is still a surprise to many, including some of us who believe in him. It's okay to say people should not cry more than the bereaved. The reason I decided to examine some of the things that transpired during his somewhat confused Hollywood career. Derrick was a minor fledgling lead in Hollywood films between the last years of the 1940s and the early 1950s, but soon found his fit in photography and would enjoy stardom as a photographer and director of cheesecake and softcore movies that also featured his famous wives. Derrick is a man with taste in relationships, with the kind of talented actress that made his marriage list. Do I say his darkly handsome skin earned him those beautiful actresses, Ursula Andress, Linda Evans, and Bo Derek? The man, John Derrick, was born Derrick Delavan Harris in 1926. He may not have made it big in acting, but it did not stop him from expanding his career profile in other areas. After all, he has told fans not to bother about the tales about his acting skills, because he never liked acting. I quite agree with Derrick to some extent, because the ability of a man to discover what is not working and switch positions is creativity on its own, and today his profile is all-encompassing as an actor, director, screenwriter, producer and photographer. Not very much was known about his childhood, but Derrick's nativity occurred in California to an entertainment family. Actor and director Lawson Harris and his beautiful mother, actress Dolores Johnson, so it was almost likely that he saw a career in Hollywood. I hear that John Derrick's father developed a negative attitude towards women and would tell young Derrick to beware of women because all they want is your name. Although Derrick's mother gave up her acting career to marry his father, it still did not please Harris because he walked out on little Derrick and his mother to fend for themselves. Derrick's earliest photography inspiration came from a man identified as Russell Harlan, who was his mother's partner at the time, but his entrance into acting may not be unconnected with his handsomeness. His mother did all she could to brush him up and make his dark hair, pale eyes and fine stature stand out. Young Derrick became such a cute lad that passers-by would often turn to stare at him. With such a look, it was only a matter of time before Hollywood noticed him. Standing on the existing protocol established by his parents in Hollywood, producers and studio chiefs recognized Derrick with his incredible features. Not too long after he turned 16 that David O. Selznick started training him for the luxurious Hollywood scene. It was an initial excitement for young Derrick, but he soon discovers that acting is bigger than just being handsome and creative. Do I hear you say publicity stunts? Yes, that unfortunately is what makes actors famous, so he must prepare for what Hollywood was offering him, the special manoeuvres, minor roles in movies. He was said to have served in the United States Army and did a stint in the Philippines during the ending phase of World War II in 1944, before returning for a job with Columbia Pictures. He started with a minor role in A Double Life in 1947. It was Humphrey Bogart who christened him John Derrick and played him as Nick Romano, the impenitent killer, in Knock on Any Door, 2 years after, a film created for Bogart Santana and released through Columbia Pictures. The movie is a socially conscious play by Nicholas Ray that showcased Derrick's pretty boyhood. He was instantly seen as a promising star by critics. Someone said he became plainly an idol for the girls. Another described him as a handsome, hot-eyed newcomer. Derrick got a 7-year contract from Columbia Pictures and his acting journey began, but how things took a different turn for this great talent is still subject to more debate. He did not hit it big as a screen persona, contrary to what he had expected. He decided to do more from the background by venturing into directing. Rumours soon swelled that he may have failed in acting, but Derrick doused attention by telling his fans that he never liked acting. It was not into him, so even if he was given the greatest role on the planet, it wouldn't have helped his acting career. He had recalled how he would go to directors of his movies to whisper to them, "I'm not an actor, but I'll turn up on time and know my words." In all the 13 movies he made, it was only 1 take per scene, because the directors would not go for another. They knew there won't be any difference from the former. Not only that, he never liked acting, but he also did not like the movies he played in, but can talk of one, a low-budget western he remembered as The Outcast. He loved it because he found himself riding horses, which was something he valued so much as a hobby. Beyond his handsomeness, one thing that retarded him is his monotone voice, which he said got worse on set while he struggled to act. The only reason he appreciated the Knock on Any Door movie was that his voice was dubbed by an Italian actor with a better voice. Derrick's poor acting stardom was not the only thing that made him sad. His marriages and relationships made him seriously sad. He first experienced matrimony with Turkish-born prima ballerina Patti Bears-Aristoff when he married her in 1948. That union produces a boy and a girl, their son Russell Andre and daughter Sean Catherine. Trouble started when Derrick dumped his wife and family after meeting and tasting the sweetness of 19-year-old ambitious Swiss actress Ursula Andress. At the time of their bonding, Ursula could not even speak English, but somehow they got together in a wild romance that ended his marriage with Bears. Sooner, Derrick cemented his relationship with Ursula in a 1957 Las Vegas marriage ceremony. Before their marriage, Derrick had an initial obstacle that stood on his James Dean, the rebel without a cause prodigy. He was Ursula's boyfriend at the time. Derrick even had a near-fighting scenario with Dean before he got lucky with her. After deserting his family, Derrick was gallivanting around Europe with Ursula. It is also during this period that CBS offered Derrick a juicy acting opportunity. They requested that Derrick return to Los Angeles and even offered to pay for dual flight tickets for him and Ursula so he could start appearing in their television series known as Frontier Circus. Derrick reluctantly accepted the offer, but it was obvious that he had divided attention and also wanted to drop acting for directing jobs. There was also more discomfort. His ex-wife and kids knew he was back in town, and it made him uncomfortable. While Derrick was doing the series, he had a tough time with his ex-wife and kids. He failed to pay alimony, and a few other regrettable situations severed his relationship with his children. It seemed he was not willing to play his fatherly role with the kind of attitude he exhibited. By the time the production was over, Derrick did not hesitate to embark on another out-of-town travel. He landed in the Philippines, where he made his debut film as a director. The movie was known as Once Before I Die, in 1964, featuring also Derrick and his beautiful second wife, Ursula. The few hitches made during the production made him realize that there is still more he needed to learn before he can be successful as a director. That movie caused him financial loss, and in the middle of the agony, rumours filled the air about his wife's affair with Ron Ely, an actor that played a minor role in the movie. Derek tried his best to overlook the gossip, but it was too hard to swallow. The going was good for the couple until she got stardom from her role in the James Bond film Dr. No. Everything came crashing down for Derek because he could not believe his darling Ursula was doing what he was hearing. Derek got a shocker when the gossip became heavy that Ursula was into an illicit affair with the actor. He learned that Ursula, his wife, may have been frolicking with actor Ron Ely for some time and did not find it funny any more. The immediate result was that he threw her out of his California home. Ursula flew to Europe and made other choices of a lover for herself in what became a media sensation, with co-stars John Richardson and Marcello Mastroianni. When Derek started the affair with Ursula some years back, it was mainly to escape from his distressed marriage. The pleasure young and talented Ursula provided was exciting, but nobody warned Derek that this Swiss version of Hollywood beauty could not be trusted. Their marriage ended officially in 1966. Derek once again was left to encounter his troublesome ex-wife and kids who were ready to make him more miserable. Maybe dysfunctional family would be the right word for what transpired. His kids openly protested against him. The frustration was just unbearable and progressively out of control. Derek tried to mitigate the situation by relocating the warring family away from America, though it did not end his misery. It was just good enough to allow him to meet his third wife as he tried to focus again on his career. There was something about actress Linda Evans, who was nearly 20 years younger, which made Derek return to marital life. A kind-hearted Evans made his life appear better, even in the eyes of his troublesome children. As they progressed, she financed his alimony payments and tried to reconcile him with the children. Linda Evans had to reduce her appearance on the television's The Big Valley show she was doing so she could be with Derek. She assisted him for years in any way she can, including child support payments to Bears, because Derek already ditched acting for a photography and directing job at this time. He brought in his son to live with him in 1968, believing that things would take shape, but his unrepentant son ran away from home to no known location, sparking fresh crises that brought back his ex-wife's anger as she decided to alter the initial agreement with Derek to stay out of town with their daughter. The commotion that arose between Derek, his ex-wife and his daughter is something no man wants to witness, because Bears completely turned his children against him, and the confusion would continue when he brought in the second child, his daughter, to live with him. I don't know what Derek was expecting from his daughter, but all he got was hatred and insult that escalated into a constant screaming contest. Out of anger at what his ex-wife has made of his children, Derek told his daughter he had married her mother out of pity when she threatened to kill herself if he did not, and even told her that he never wanted a child as he tried to make the previously worse situation right the wrong way. That was not the right thing to come from a father to his daughter, because he soon found himself running from pillar to post when the same daughter had an unfortunate accident that hospitalized her. That year was one trouble too many for Derek. Somehow he took an escape route. His relationship with Evans got tainted when in 1973 Derek and 16-year-old Mary Kathleen Collins, Bo Derek, travelled to the Greek island of Mykonos to produce the movie. That release was delayed until 1981, titled Fantasies. It was said that during the filming, Derek and Collins took to bed in an illegal romantic affair. Evans, as a result, divorced Derek in 1974. Derek and Collins were said to have stayed low in Europe until she was 18, so he could avoid some kind of legal charges. When Derek married Collins, 2 years after he separated from Evans, her name changed to Bo Derek. Their marriage gave Derek both personal and financial pleasure, with the movie partnership that both were able to accomplish together. It's quite an extraordinary marital journey for John Derek, who suffered a heart attack in 1986 but later bounced back to life in full recovery. But he was not lucky on the 22nd of May 1998 when cardiovascular disease brought him down in Santa Maria, California. Then he was 71. Derek's life and career were messy, but he was able to prove himself a man who tried his best in what he believed. Whether he was a success or failure may not be significant at this time, though fans can readily say he failed in acting and did not succeed in directing. Maybe he could have gotten his marriage working if he had control of his emotions earlier. John Derek is considered a failed star. Do you think those actors deserve those labels? Let's find out the truth behind Ralph Bellamy's undeserved reputation. Watch this video.